The Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League recently released their second issue, Suicide Squad Kill Arkham Asylum, issue number 2. I covered the first one on my channel. There will be a link in the description for it and a related title card as well if I remember, so you should watch that to get context for this issue or not. Doesn't really matter, but anyways, the comic starts off with an inconsistency. The comic starts off with Argus agents beating the hell out of Killer Moth, which is all being narrated by the dude on the right there. His name's Krups. He's describing the whole thing where he pretty much says he's allowed to abuse the Arkham inmates alongside all the other Argus agents. Now, this is an inconsistency because Killer Moth was killed by Red Hood. A thug mentions this in the Red Hood DLC in Arkham Knight. I guess they said took out in the DLC instead of killed by Red Hood, but Red Hood doesn't take out villains, he kills them, right? So it's just an inconsistency. So right off the bat, this is kind of a flaw, but let's keep it pushing. The comic moves on with Krupp's perspective about how he went on from GCPD to working at Argus. And it shows Waller here basically telling everyone that the Arkham inmates are the worst of the worst, and the Argus agents can do whatever they want to them, like torture them. Somebody tells Waller, though, that the prisoners have gone loose before, and if they do again, they'll remember how they treated them, with Waller telling him that the Argus security is top-notch and nobody would ever get out. It then goes back to the Argus officers beating up Killer Moth, with King Shark trying to stop it. The guard then threatens King Shark, saying he's next, with King Shark trying to calm down the situation, as you can see here. It then shows the guard eating Deadshot's sandwich in front of him, and also holding Harley Quinn's rat, Mr. Squeakums, tormenting her about it as he kills it right in front of her. He then walks over to Captain Boomerang and gives him a chum bucket of gross fish that has a bunch of raw fish entrails in it. He's then shown to walk past Deadshot's cell again, with Deadshot yelling about his dinner. Other guards then ask this guard if he's heard about what's going on in Metropolis and everything that's going on there, and that the Justice League is missing. Krups then tells them it's not his problem, and then the cell security protocols are deactivated, which is what the first issue ended off at. Their cells deactivating, which was the plan of Amanda Waller's. She turned off the security on purpose here. The guards and the others start to panic as they realize all the inmates are finally let loose, as the next panel shows the onslaught of just inmates tearing everyone apart. You can see Deadshot there, Slade with the baton there, and Great White Shark there as well. It was revealed Slade was in Arkham in the first issue, so yeah, here he is. You can see Clayface there, Man-Bat as well, and I think at the top right there, that's Croc. I don't know, it's kind of hard to say since it's cut off, but I think that's Killer Croc. Could be Grundy though, I don't know. Deadshot is then tormenting Krups as he's about to curb stomp and kill him until Slade and Great White Shark yell at him saying it should be them instead, as they talk about how this officer tortured them. Deadshot and Great White then kind of introduce themselves. Deadshot says he's the world's deadliest assassin, and he also tells Great White that he heard he killed Zaz a few weeks back, with Great White pretending to say that he did, which wasn't true. King Shark killed him, but yeah, it's pretty funny. Slade's about to introduce himself before they notice Krups running away, in which Slade picks up the baton and ricochets it off the ground, knocking out Krups. Slade then introduces himself, telling Deadshot that he's actually the second best, as he himself is the first deadliest assassin. Great White then tells him that they should find a way out of there before reinforcements arrive. Deadshot says he doesn't do team-ups, but they all kind of agree since it might be the best way out of there. As Killer Croc is chasing one of the agents here, Deadshot asks Slade if he's been around Saratoga Heights on a certain date, with Slade telling him that he wasn't. Deadshot then tells him that around then, he was on a hunt looking for information. He tells the people here that if they gave him the info, it wouldn't turn ugly, which he was lying about. He was probably going to kill them anyway. But out of nowhere, a bullet came flying out of nowhere, ricocheting everywhere, killing the 3 people, which surprised Deadshot. The next following shots were then after Deadshot, who narrowly escaped them. He noticed the shooter who was set up from a vantage point across the street. It then turned into a gunfight with them trading shot for shot, but in the end, Deadshot was able to shoot the shooter in the head, most likely killing him. Now, this is the other Deadshot he killed from Arkham Origins and Arkham City. In Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the game, it's revealed that the Deadshot from the Arkham games is a fake, and the one here that we see is the real one. Pretty confusing, but the games explain it like this as shown in the comic here, so yeah, we get to see it now. Anyways, even though Deadshot got the headshot, he needed to confirm the kill, but before he's able to, Green Lantern flies in and grabs Deadshot. Deadshot tries to tell GL that he needs to see the body first before he goes to prison, pretty much, but GL tells him that he's done and doesn't let him. I guess this is what Deadshot meant at the Batman Museum in the game when he said he wasn't done with the fake Deadshot, even though he killed him, because he might have not killed him if the kill wasn't confirmed. But that is how Deadshot ended up in Arkham. He asks Slade if he knows anything about that, with Slade saying he doesn't. Slade then tells him that they should get a move on before Batman and his sidekicks show up, with Great White telling him that he overheard a guard saying that there's something going down in Metropolis and the Justice League members are missing. It then reveals Amanda Waller spying on them from her room with her team. Rick Flag tells her that he doesn't get her plan, even though she explained it, with Waller saying it'll be clear soon enough and that the inmates are going to learn their lesson the hard way. And then it goes back to the team. A guard with a huge gun comes out of nowhere, attacking Deadshot and the crew, but before he's able to do any real damage, Man-Bat comes out of nowhere and takes him. Deadshot mentioned that he'd never imagined to be a bat that would assist him. Anyways, the blast from the guard's gun blew a hole into an armory room where all the villains' weapons and armory are. Slade then mentions that it's weird that they have this here, since it could mean bad news for the guards if they ever got out like they did here, showing Slade's suspicion, with Deadshot telling him to not overthink it. This is most likely a part of Amanda Waller's plan to get them to gear up, I guess. They then gear up into their costumes and equip themselves with weapons. Slade then tells them that they should go topside, but Deadshot then suggests that they should go down instead, since going topside is where most of the guards and superheroes would go first. Going down into the sewage system might be the best way for them to get out. Slade then says that his idea isn't half bad, and then tells them that he won't need them anymore at this point, as he kills the Great White Shark. He then reminds Deadshot that what he said about Deadliest Assassins not doing team-ups is correct, as he apologizes to Floyd and then shooting him. I don't know if I like this. I guess it's not out of character for Slade to do something like this, but I kind of feel like it is. He's a mercenary, and I think he wouldn't kill pointlessly like this. Like, why does it matter if they're alive or not? But anyways, that's what happens. He shoots Floyd and leaves him for dead, doesn't even confirm the kill. As Deadshot's lying there, it shows other villains running around like Croc, King Shark, and I think that's Grundy or Clayface. It's just hard to tell. It then shows other villains like Mad Hatter. I think that's Condiment King right there. That has to be him, right? It's pretty funny. And then I think that's Crazy Quilt there on the right. Right? Pretty funny. It has to be Crazy Quilt. Maybe Polka Dot Man, but I'm not too sure. Krups then shows up and finds Deadshot lying on the ground, and he starts taunting him and is about to kill him. However, Harley Quinn shows up out of nowhere, dressed up with her mallet, asking Krups if he's going to play Smash the Head, saying she and her mallet loved that game, almost as much as she loved Mr. Squeakums, the rat that Krups killed, as she lunges at him with the comic ending. Okay, so my opinion of this issue is that it has an inconsistency right off the bat with Killer Moth being alive, as once again, Arkham Knight mentions that Red Hood took out Killer Moth. I'm pretty sure the line of dialogue in that DLC was that he took out Killer Moth, not killed. They don't use the word killed, but Red Hood kills, right? So pretty much he killed him. So I think that's kind of an inconsistency. Other than that, the comic itself is kind of cool. Seeing Green Lantern was interesting. I'm wondering what Waller's plan really is. But overall, to me, it's kind of a standard issue of any comic. It's not anything too exciting, but not anything too boring either. It's just there, I guess. But what do you think? Do you think the comic was good, bad? Let me know. Do you like Slade coming back? I mean, I wish Slade was used in a better way, but I mean, it was still cool to see him. As always, thanks for any support on the video. Any support on the video is always appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for everything. Stay safe, and before we go, thanks to today's video sponsor, Brilliant. If you're trying to learn computer science, math skills, or data science in a fun and engaging way, this is the thing for you. Brilliant offers a ton, and I mean a ton, of unique ways of going about learning each of these skills interactively and at your own pace. You can start at a beginner level or jump straight to a more advanced topic if you want to. I recommended the data science portion to a friend, and they gave it a try and said it's actually a beneficial way of learning. And trust me, she's a genius with this stuff. She's trustworthy. One of the best things about this is that you can do it whenever you please. There's no deadline or test or anything to stress you out. You decide what you want to learn and how you want to learn it. It's very intuitive too. There's nothing complicated about the program at all. It's legit a great way of going about learning these skills. You can start for free for 30 days using my code brilliant.org/GothamPaladin, or click the link in the description. First 200 to use my code, by the way, get a 20% off an annual plan as well. So it's just a really great way to start overall. Make sure to check it out, and thanks again to Brilliant for sponsoring this video.